Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog. Today it's market day. We're so excited. Did you hear me? It's market day. Technically tomorrow is market day, but I have to get up really early in the morning to go to market. But I wanted to start my intro. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I'm super excited. This is my biggest craft market of the season. I am in a new spot this year, so we'll cross our fingers. I'm going to do more of trying to show you the market and like the process and things like that. I don't know. I don't think like the process of me setting up, that gets very chaotic. Because I've shown you my trailer, and so pulling that in and unloading it and getting it, we get all sweaty and gross. But I will show you as soon as we are done and what it looks like all beautiful and set up. This year I've also got a new setup, so we've got a lot of new things. I'm super excited. First market of the year also. Lots of things going on. This market is at the local winery. It's put on by the local radio station. It's also each year they have one of the local businesses sponsor it. So, but it's at the local winery. They have like a video that they've been putting around. If I can figure out how to put that, if not, I will tag the event so you can go and try and see that for yourself if you want to. So they have premium spaces up on the concrete, and so that's one of the spots that I get because I have plushies. I like to have I pay the extra money to be up on the concrete. I've had too many instances where something gets dropped, bumped, the wind blows, and then all my stuff is in the mud, and we're not doing that. So like on the concrete, it's a little bit dirty, but I could wash it and it's just fine. Let me think what else I want to tell you before my market. No, there's a bunch up on, the premium spots are where all the food trucks and stuff are, so that's super fun. They also, because it's at the winery, they have like wine tasting and there's lemonade and things like that up there. And then down below, I could show you a map and then I'll circle where I am. Then they have the other spots down below and then parking and things like that. So it's super exciting. I always do. It's one of those that's really hard to get into, but once you get in, like you're in, and that's a great thing. Like I don't think they say, oh, well, because they don't ask whether or not, but I don't know, that's just the vibe it gets off. Like, it's really hard to get into, but once you're in, they remember you when you're in. My dog's trying to get into my room. So it should be this event usually gets rained out and it gets moved to a different day. This year, it is supposed to be sunny, so cross your fingers. I'll show you. Look at the little babies. He's a grumpy old man. He's a grumpy old man, and that's okay. So, yep, I just wanted to hop on here, give you a little intro into what's going on this weekend, because in the morning, before we get all set up, and as we get all set up, the process gets a little hectic. It's a tight space, but once we get going and all set up, it's fantastic. So I'll show you when we get to that process. Okay, my apologies. So when I was filming showing you my setup, the food trucks behind were very, very loud. So voiceover time. This is my setup, my 3D printed stuff. I needed to make little labels for those still, but that's okay. I had plenty of time. So at this point, I still had like an hour before the market actually started. I got in real quick and easy, and setup went very easy. I got my octopus, my loveys, my mushroom guy, my new stand, and my daughter's trying to hide from my camera. But pickles, and these are her beautiful stickers. She's very talented. One day she'll have her own booth, but she's not 18 yet, so trying to finish that. I got Pokemon and things like that. I'm really happy with the way this setup turned out, and we're ready for the market. This is the view from where I was, all the other booths and stuff like that. So we were ready to go. Had to have a good day. Hi guys, what's up? So first market in the books. It was a really good day. It went by, so my plan originally was to set up the little camera so you guys could see part of the market, but I never found a good place to put the camera. I'm still working out kinks on how to do all this and show this all to you. GalaxyCon, my husband's gonna rig something up so that it stays right here all the time, and I just have to turn it on and go. Also, the place we were at, so the food trucks were right behind us, and that's a good thing because people have to pass us to get to the food trucks. However, that also means their generators are very, very loud. So I did like a here's my setup thing, and you can't hear me at all. So that's why there's a voiceover. So on that part, but working out the kinks, I'm going to try some different things so that you guys get a full view of what it's like to do a market. Because if you sell your art, I really enjoy doing the market, so I want everybody to have the best experience. But we'll get into my list. So I make a list of all the things that I sell. Sometimes it gets a little crazy and I forget things, but that's okay. This list is for me. I do have my stuff on the square as well. And then this helps me keep track of cash and stuff like that. But like I said, sometimes the other reason there isn't any footage during the thing is because when I was trying to find a place to set up, then a whole crowd would come, and then there'll be a little lull, and I'd play with it, and then there'd be a crowd, and then at like noon it was just a constant flow for like 2 hours. And so, but that's generally how the market goes. People kind of trickle in, they've slept in a little bit, then it's at a winery, so people are drinking. You don't want to go and drink too early. That being said, I've watched, so the thing ended at 5, and I was still watching cars roll in at like 4. They shut us down at like 4:30 because the wind got real bad. But that we have perfected, and I'll put little screenshots of why the weights that my husband have made is, like other vendors were coming and looking at our weights because they were just like, how is your tent staying up through this? And we thought it was the funniest thing because it's so simple. It's just PVC pipe and sand, and it's the way he has it hooked up to my tent, so it's holding the tent down with it. It's not just Velcro to the side, it's holding the tent down, and that's really the difference. So let's get into, so to start off, my table fee, if you're not familiar, if you haven't seen my other market video about this particular, it goes twice a year. So springtime and then one during the holidays. So I pay the extra money to be up on the concrete, so it's $200. I made a little bit more than I did last year at the May one, which is a bonus for me. So in total, I made $16.30. That doesn't include the fees. There are some fees that the square pulls, and that's okay. You just have to add those into your thing. So, and then some of these things are my daughter's stickers. So I always put them in categories. I don't know if you can see my little categories. And then I write down how many of her stickers were sold so that I can pay her. I think the next market I'm going to, because there were a lot of people, so there was times where I was ringing up plushies and somebody was trying to ring up stickers, and next time she's gonna have the tap to pay on her phone in my square, because she's only 17, so she can't have I think she's gotta be 18, so we're just making it 18 just to be on the safe side. So right now she's still under my business. But so my first sale was even before the market started. My booth neighbor came over after they finished setting up, and she was like, oh my gosh, I need this for my granddaughter. She loves this character. I'm like, absolutely. I have it. And when I finished setting up, I took it to her and she paid me. So I also do the 3D printed stuff. I don't know if you guys want, some people go through like a detailed list. So we'll try that this time and see how you guys like it. Leave it in the comments of whether that was too much, this is all too much, or you just kind of want bestsellers. So today I'm gonna kind of just list off the things that I sell, and I'll list how much, but put in the comments of whether you would rather have highlights, or I want everything in prices and I want all the numbers so I get the full picture. So Kuromi I sell for $30, and then I do the 3 for $5 minis for $5, and then a 3 for $5 stickers, because her stickers are $2 or 3 for $5 as well. So then I sold a little shark for $15, and a rubber duck, then a rubber duck for $15, and an opossum for $15. I want to say that person bought all three. I usually put like a asterisk if they're all in the same one, because if they paid on the card, it's not going to say 15, it's going to say 45, right? But so I actually forgot my book, and I had to come home and write all this back down, and I had just a little tiny notebook, but I digress. Then my daughter sold a big sticker pack for $20, and then I sold a peep. I just had those randomly left over because it was spring sorta, so and then I sold a stingray for $25, so one of the bigger stingrays that I sell. And then my daughter sold a 3 for $5, and I make little fun clickers, so I made a TV clicker, and then a little mini, and a bunny paw, and a pickle 3D, and then I sold a little ladybug for $10. I sold Spider-Man for $30, and then a little mini guy for $5, and then my daughter sold three for $5 packs for 15, and then a big sticker pack, a medium-sized sticker pack for 10, and then I sold an axolotl for 15, and then I sold Perry. I sold Perry for 20. He's a little quick make by Poggy's Lace. He's really cute. I always think I'd take enough of like him and possums and stuff like that, and I never do. So I need to make more for my next market, because I was like, 5 should be enough. And my next market is it's GalaxyCon, so it's 3 days, and so I need to have more. And then I sold an eagle for 20. I sold Bluey and Bingo. Those were definitely together. So they were 25 each. I sold another Perry, and I sold a Pokemon. I do take characters. Don't come at me. Because I do GalaxyCon and Comicon, so I do fan art, so you stay over there. And then my daughter sold another sticker pack for 10, and a random sticker for 2, and then 3D printed minis 3 for 5, and then a sticker 3 for 5, and then another Perry, and then I sold 2 3 for 5 mini 3D printed minis, and then I sold a little mushroom from Crochet Me Zaddy. They're like the baby mushroom, big mushroom guy, and they're so cute. So people see the mushroom guy, and then they're like, ooh, I can't afford that. So I put 150 on his, and he draws people in. But then I was like, I need a little mushroom for people. But I sold his for 30, and I sold all 3 of the ones that I took. And then I sold 2 little mini Stegos by Phoebe Studio 22. I sell those for 20, so they were 40. And then 2 more characters, and then pickle clicker. I had made a bunch because I wanted to do, there's a pickle festival a little ways away, and I didn't get anywhere near, so as soon as applications opened, the crochet booths were full, and I was like, well, I can't even apply for that one. So I had a bunch of pickle stuff. So okay, like I said, I could give like a more like, at this hour I sold this, and at this hour I sold this, and it was a very steady stream. And like, so they shut us down. They came around at like 4:30 and said, because of the wind, we're giving everybody permission to go ahead and start shutting down. And we're like, okay, great. And so we started loading things back up, and there's still people walking around. I sold $100 worth of things in that last 30 minutes. And I was like, okay. And then I sold another Bluey and a Chopper and a 3D print and a Pokemon. My daughter sold a bunch of stickers and a bunch of clickers. See, I get bored listing. There's pages and pages and pages. Perry was definitely my best. I sold a bunch because I had made, like I said, I made fun clickers, and I made a bunch of those, and let me see, my daughter sold more stickers. We changed her setup, so she sold a bunch of more stickers than she did last year, and she pretty much doubled it, which is good for her because she's eventually gonna scoot away on her own. Turtles and Loaf Cat, Axolotl. I made a Glenda. I sold her. I sold a Perry turtle, TV clicker with a cupcake clicker, and then I sold Deadpool and Chucky and another turtle. This turtle, the first turtle was a sea turtle, which I had stopped making because people weren't buying them. So I need to have both types of turtles, apparently. And then sticker, sticker, sticker. And I had made spaghetti clicker, so it looks like a bowl of spaghetti. That was really fun. And then, really close to the end, I want to say, let me pull up, see if I can pull up what time they bought that. So yeah, like 3:45. This cute little couple comes, and he's eyeballing my big mushroom guy. And he was like, no, I don't want you to spend that much money on me. I'll just get one of the little ones. And she was like, it's my money. I'm going to buy it. And I just thought that was so cute. And then because I had my blue one out, we were like, well, we have a red one too, if you're looking. And that put them over the edge, and they paid the $150 for my big mushroom guy. And I was just like, I'm gonna throw up. I was so excited. Like, you make these things, and like, I know putting that heavy on a price tag on it, it's less likely to sell. But it draws the crowd in, and it sells the little mushrooms, or it sells the little octopus, because Anchor the octopus also has a big price tag like that. And some of the bigger like Pokemon I have a really big price tag on it, but they're really big. And so it's like at Comicon, the Pokemon, I have a Ditto that's like this big, and it draws people in, and I'm like, well, I can't afford that one, but I have a little one. And so they see what else I have, and they're just, yes, I need it. And so I tell people that's what its job is. Its job is to draw you in. And they're like, it's done that. Everybody wanted to touch Anchor's tentacles. They were so soft, and I put it right front and center, so it was just, everybody just wanted to touch it. And then I showed them the little drifts that I make, also by that's by the Crochet Carpenter. And they're like, oh, that's great. I think I would have sold more of them if I would have had some in the colors that Anchor was in, because I had pink and green and black and like a multicolored one. If I would have had like the light blue and the teal that his things are, then so GalaxyCon, I'm gonna put my rainbow one out because it's really close to Pride Month. So I make a bunch of Pride bees and stuff like that, so the rainbow Anchor goes up. And so I want to make a bunch of rainbow drifts, and I want to make sure I had a bunch of people buy axolotls, but like I didn't have all the colors. So for all my next markets, and to make sure for GalaxyCon, I need to pull my buckets back in and reorganize them and make sure I know what I have. But I need to make sure that I have at least one of each color. I need to make sure that I have all of these things going into my next market. But that's it. And then the last, like, I was packing up, and a lady came back, and she's like, oh, you had this, you still have that? And I pulled it out of the bucket and I sold it to her. And the last thing I had kind of put away were the Mom Made Minis loveys, and the rainbow zebra that I had made for the market sold. So, and that was $35. And the little thing that the one lady was looking for was a scrump, and that was $30. And some people came by and bought a bunch of stickers before we had packed them all away. And so, yeah, if you're having a good day, don't pack up early. Even if they come by and say, now the wind started to get a little out of hand and we were like holding things down, but people will be coming by after closing and still buying your things. So that's the takeaway from today. I always make a couple from the vendors walking around before this show even starts, and the stragglers at the end. So I am grateful for all of that, and I think we had a really great market. Definitely do it again. That's all I have for today. Like I said, leave in the comments if you want me to literally sit here and list everything. I will if that's what you really want. Or I can make a list of highlights. These are the best sellers. And then this is, like, I could tell you the mushroom story, because that was a really cute story. So that's all I got for today. Next market is GalaxyCon, so we'll be prepping for that. So stay tuned for that video. And I think I have some other things going on in between now and then, but I don't even know what day it is today. So we'll see you next time. Bye.